All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, traders. What's up? What's up? What up? What up? What up? HTZ, man, HTZ. If I had checked the news on HTZ, I would have swung that stock. I was looking at it in the last like 5-10 minutes of the close at what was that, like $3? I don't know, like four, 460. But I didn't look up the headline, I guess, because over the last few years I haven't been doing that. But after seeing the headline, this was like a no-brainer kind of a swing. Of course, there's always risk, but this could have been a nice one. Anyhow, check out the disclaimer. Remember that day trading is risky. Remember that most traders lose, so start small, utilize small size simulators. Remember that copy trading does not work. Copy trading does not work here. And lastly, I do not invest for my subscribers, so be careful of fake accounts. I will never message you first. Okay, with that being said, let's write up the watch list and get cooking. Yeah, HTZ, man, I was keeping an eye on this one yesterday for some like day trades. I was flat on it in this area here, and so I opted to leave it alone. In this area, I was flat. So I left it alone in the last, like 10 candles or so. But if I knew about the headline, it would have been a good swing. Okay, so we have CHRO, top stock, 84% move. There's SMX, which also looks decent. There's QURE. There's HTZ and DXF continuation as well. Those are the top stocks today. The top dogs. Also AERC. Let me add AERC to this. AERC, I think, was a mega stock before once upon a time ago. Might have been a while ago now, but every time that one pops up, we always keep an eye on it. Come on. Okay, there we go. Boom. In the alert section, the open floor, as well as the stream. Although you guys can see the watch list right there, the top gainers. So for a couple of trend lines, I'll start with CHRO and then make my way down. So for this one, we have pre-market highs at 257 from an early push this morning. Bit of a double top up there. Since then, we've pulled back. The low of our current range has been 217. 217. We did push over VWAP, curled up, and we had a high point of 40. And we pulled back to 28. So we'll see if it's able to hold up mid-20s here. In terms of how quickly this one can go into the open, it's a little hard to say. But checking out the daily chart, I believe we had a move going back to January 21st on this stock. That day we got a high point of 380. All-time highs I'm seeing as $6 in case it happens to be incredibly strong today. So that's CHRO up 84%, 19 million shares of volume here in pre-market. Okay, moving on to the next one, which will be SMX. SMX currently up 52%, 24 million shares of volume. We got the pre-market high at 262. So this one is similar in price to CHRO. Low of the pullback here. The low of the most recent pullback, 210. Since then we've curled up slightly. Daily chart. This name does sound familiar, so did we make a move recently or was that last year? Yeah, December of last year, there was a small push. Or I guess it was a big push from 12 to 24. Not seeing much on the daily chart as of right now. The last volume candle that we had was January 24th, where we went from 392 to 650. There's also on the 14th of February, but I mean, that candle just does not stand out at all. That day we had a high point of 365 and a low of 303, but it doesn't really stick out like a sore thumb. So this one might, might be able to get up to 354. Potentially. I'll map out 380 just because, but it doesn't seem super obvious. SMX. Next down on the list, there's QURE. QURE. This one here is up 40%, currently at 13 bucks. So a little bit more pricey. Right now, I would prefer this price range as we would be able to get a little bit more volatility, but will we see something strong in this price range? We haven't seen anything in quite some time now, a little over a week, so it's hard to say. But pre-market high is 1440, low of the pullback here 1280, high of the current range is 1340. 1340 to high of the current range. Some people might have it a little lower depending on if you're looking at the 1 or 5 minute. But on the 5 minute, or rather, this is what's this, 3 minute? I'm going off the 3 minute, but I could bring it a little lower. Some people might watch closer to 1330 for that high point. Yeah, if we start to hold above 1330 and above 1346 at VWAP, we'll see how this one does. As my cell phone falls down here. If you're tuning in on YouTube, don't forget to hit the thumbs up. And remember, for those of you in the chat room as well, if I'm sounding a little weird, it is because I have these aligners in. And it just it's quite terrible for this type of career, this type of field where you have to be talking. And because I'm talking so much, they actually get pretty dry. And if it touches my lip, it's like if you ever seen those videos of somebody who puts their tongue or their lip on like a frozen pole, how it like sticks. Yeah, I've like cut my lips a couple of times already. Kind of in the depths, but we gotta push through. OST hitting scans. Let's take a quick look. Is it worthy? This one did make a big move 2 days ago, but maybe still needs to climb up a little bit more before more traders might get involved. Still looks a little shaky. So yeah, QURE. In terms of the daily chart here, let's see. I think these are going to be my top 3. There's a few high points. I'm seeing $15. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up with this one. I'm seeing 15, and then 1680, and then 1918. 1918, 15, and 1680. Kind of like stair stepping down on the daily chart. Short sellers could try to short into those levels, but we'll see. But yeah, those are my top three. The others will be the others. So if they pop up as we go, I'll jump on board and take it from there. I'll be watching CHRO into the open. Yesterday, I think, whenever we're red, I think the last like month and a half, it's simply been because of one reason, which is that we're getting a little too heavy on size early. And whether the stock is strong or not, we're getting caught either into the first pullback or just sizing up too quickly, and then the stock is like, in the first 2-3 minutes back down to lows. So we got to be very careful. I think still the biggest challenge for me is having the patience to like try to build a cushion with the smaller size and then slowly increase size. I've been jumping up in size because of, in the hotter markets, last year just so used to just 5,000-6,000 shares and just, every trade like normal, but trying to make that adjustment here as we go. But other than that, looking to be disciplined, looking to be patient, smaller size first as usual, taking it slow into the open, and hopefully we can see some good momentum today. So let's see which ones are going to hold up and which ones are going to fade out.
DXCM.
Just waiting for now. OST. First daily candle was at 234. And there's a drop to 23. QURE, will we see a red to green here? It's back down. I think OST just a little too early. The setup on the daily chart could be good, but we gotta kind of wait and see where the volume is gonna converge. You know, are we gonna see one stock kind of hold up, take off? Because there's a bunch of them: SMX, OST, HTZ. You know, which stock is gonna be that stock to hold up? Right now, I just want to rotate OST. So OST pushing up a little bit from 40 to 80 now, not bad. The halt is at 90 if it keeps going. Halt level now at 3. Watching OST here on the pullback. Tight stop. I might consider adding depending on how it holds up. Taking the $50, recycling. And there's a new low. I'm gonna try again. The low, okay, I'm gonna try again at the new lows. Third attempt. The third try to charm. It's the third try the charm here. There's still some selling pressure. I want to see at least like 65 if we're gonna get a nice bounce out of this. The 5-minute chart looks pretty bullish, but we're getting the pullback here in the 1 minute. QURE did give a rep to green. Big level here. There is some buying, which I like. Tight stop. I'm gonna take a little bit more size. And can we see 65.70? There's no reason if this is gonna be a strong stock, like the move it just gave. Now we should not see at least 65.70 here. So waiting patiently for the move to the moon. Waiting patiently. QURE has the volume. If we're getting over 100,000 shares a 1 minute candle, it could be pretty good. Could be pretty good. Okay, 60. Now show me 65, 70. 60, 60, 60, 63, 65. There's the target. Boom. Oh, there's a good trade. See, yesterday, buying right there, the stock just kept going down. QURE. If this one gets over 3, I mean, it could get interesting. QURE, how's the volume? Had a nice 1-minute pullback there. If you guys recall that trade where I took 6,000 shares, it's like the same trade. Like, sometimes these stocks, they just don't hold up. Now, because it's early in the day, my share size is smaller. I'm taking smaller blocks. I like that it's holding above 50 here. We'll see if it continues to do so. This could be early pullback. Tight stop here. If this is the early pullback, it could be good, being that we're holding high. But we'll want to see over 70, of course. Tight stop here. Watching. Okay, sub 50. We might have had a small hidden buyer there, but it's back down to the low. So if not a double bottom here, then maybe it can sell off. So let's see. So far it's bouncing up a little bit. I don't like to see the early pullback go all the way back to the lows, but it's fine. We'll see if it holds up here. Mega levels. I want to see the immediate move back up. There's green on the tape, but it's not going. So there might be sellers here. And it is done, so. Actually, there might be a dip here. And okay, 16. Alright, that's fine. QURE. If it gets back over 40, it'll be interesting. But I doubt it gets back over 40. I want to do a full rotation here to see everything. The volume here. AREC. Nice move up, but already back down. And this is the tough part with the consolidations. But at least the first dip or two held up. Let's check out HTZ. It's moving up a little bit. Yeah, I can't believe I missed out the swing trade there. If I check the news, man. So I was trading it at $4 in the last 10 minutes. Small size. I was flat, so I left it alone. I think I went up $100 and then went back to flat. So I'm like, okay, that's it. But I didn't look at the news. The headline was pretty good. Who was it? Carl Icahn or the other one? one of the real big time gurus. It's like when they say Warren Buffett takes a stake in a company, then you just know it's inevitable that it'll go up overnight. There's always risk, you can still lose, but it's kind of one of these safer swing trades overnight. It might have been Bill Ackman, one of those two guys. The real gurus. I actually know an I'll skip that story. I'll save that for next time. Let's see. QURE. AREC. QURE. It's back at the high. I'm gonna trade this 100 shares only to start, unless it's like a real good volume and really moving well. ADGM. Okay. ADGM. This one was halted up. High 53. A little late to the show, but okay. Big levels here. Can we see over 34, 35? And it might be selling off. I want to see the volume on QURE. Highs at 14, 16. ADGM is fighting, which is good. Alright, I'll give it the attention here. Wow. Well, it can move, right? This thing can move from 45, from 48 to 30, just like that. Okay. Yeah, we're getting some pretty big candlesticks here in the one. So you got to be careful of the bigger dip. I have to watch out. The range is massive. Will we see over 50? It's 50. 45. It held up pretty high right there. It's not an immediate bounce, but we'll see if it ends up holding. Oh, it's just interesting with this range. 38, 39. Let me check out DXF. The halt up is at 1446. DXF. The halt is at 69. Big spreads here though. There's 14. And I'm not in. It's a little tricky here. Oh, damn. Damn, that freaking spread. Oh, this trade is ruined. I'm gonna try again at 30. Oh, it's just ridiculous. Yeah, nothing is holding up. First pullback in the depths. First pullback miserable. ADGM, on the other hand, that held up nicely. So I picked the wrong stock here. 175. The halt is at 77. Hopefully gets locked in here. Looks like it'll get halted up. 84. DXF to the depths.
ADGM halted. ADGM will resume at 9 hours 57 minutes and 41 seconds. SFMT.
We'll see how the resumption is. For those of you watching on YouTube, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. And if you're a new viewer, consider subscribing to the channel. We got ticker symbol ADGM halted up and looking like the stock of the day here potentially. We got 3 minutes 15 seconds to resumption. So hit that thumbs up and let's get ready to start cooking. This is where the day can officially begin here with a hot stock. If we can see some good follow through, perhaps up to 2. I'm going to double check the daily chart here. ADGM, I'm seeing the 200 EMA is at 297. 297 on the daily chart. And let's see, do we have any other areas where we could potentially have early resistance? I think the 200 EMA is the next obvious spot. So depending on how well this does, it's showing resumption at 85. So sideways resumption, but if we can see the move up to 2, the dip, the rip, perhaps we can start flirting and holding above the $2 level. Would be nice. And then a continued push. I do want to remember though that this stock has massive range, so it's something to be careful of. Recycling on pullbacks will make sense, I think, if it's necessary. We had a 40-cent range earlier, or about a 25-cent range, was it? Which for this stock, some of these cheaper stocks, it's a little, a little bigger. AREC, not a ton there. It's just moving up a little bit. CHRO also potential red to green happening on that one. So we got a minute, 10 seconds. It seems like it'll be a 5-minute halt. We're now showing 190 resumption. We've been seeing a good amount of success on resumptions, although yesterday WIMI was a little choppy. ADGM, as long as we see a clean opportunity, we will be in. That's for certain. No fear, no hesitation. In the next 23 seconds. We're at 184, here we go. Oh, it's 10 minutes. Okay. It's showing a $2 resumption now. So, waiting on the sidelines again. It'll be nice to see a bit of a short squeeze today if this one can, really open up. We've seen good small cap action when the SPY has been dramatic up or down. Today it's a bit sideways, but we'll see. We might still get a good hot stock here. Yeah, as I was saying earlier, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. We got 610 people, man. 610 people and 100 likes. The viewership to like ratio is abysmal here. It is abysmal. Mediocre at best. I know there's at least 350 people out there watching on, rooting for good old Relentless. That can smash that thumbs up. People like Ronald, Phil, Beyond, the Liquid Words, Mike. Mike is tuning in. Patrick Fox, longtime viewer. Just one more like, right? We got Shells in the building. Shells, what's going on, brother? Two minutes 45 seconds to resumption. Nobody is in the building as well. Pug, what's up? How you know I can't say that name? Watch, if we hit over 400 likes, then I'll call you out, man. Quite the name right there. JR, what's up? JP, Humble Warrior. We got traders tuning in from all around the globe. Hope you guys are having a good day today. I'm always on. It's like, you guys will see how I do, whether I'm green, red, flat. But, hopefully the audience is always hanging in there, getting it done. I know there are some really consistent traders. Some people are like 9 out of every 10 days they're green, which is really nice. Right now we're flat. I'm down 300, but I consider it flat. We'll see how this resumption is. Depending on how good this stock is here, my share size could increase drastically, which will have a very significant impact on how well we do here, profits wise. If it's good, I'll size up. If it's not, then we kind of just keep the smaller size or even size down. One minute, 6 seconds. So it's showing 202 resumption. ADGM 202 resumption coming up. Again, for me, I want to see it open up higher like it is. It's showing 201, 202. That's great. Even if it gives a small push, 208, 209. But then the pullback is where I really want to see something. And this is where it gets tricky because nobody knows where it's going to dip to, if it does dip, or sometimes it might not, but it could dip down to 190, it could dip down to 170, and we'll have to use our best judgment here, keep the wrist tight. But this trade here should be instant. Let's see what it does. 184. Wow. I tried for 207. I don't think I got it. It opened up much higher. It is flying. It is moving at the speed of light. There's 33 Can we see a quick micro? Can we get a micro? Can we get a micro? $50 for the high. That was a little late. Okay, fair. Pullback is a little lower than I would expect, but okay. This is where I want to push big boy size. It's going to be a little bit more risky, but the stock has proven that it's strong.
ATGM.
It's a retest to 50. Didn't quite break 50 though.
And WTG. EGS. TMC.
Waiting patiently here. High or low, depending.
KZIA will resume at 10 hours 9 minutes and 45 seconds. TMC.
Not the best fill. Better. Better. I'll take that.
DFF halted. DXF will resume at 10 hours 10 minutes and 2 seconds.
Short somehow. Okay. There's shares available. That's good to know. We'll see if the pullback remains tight or if it does get a little bit bigger here. Sizing down a bit. So far, it's been a tight pullback. Smaller size down here for me. It's still holding. Can we see that push through 40, 50? It has the volume, but a little bit hesitant there. We're back out. Haven't really been able to connect as well as I would like. We had a new low right there, 16. The 5-minute candle is red, of course.
TMC.
Still fighting time. 1 minute 30 seconds left in this 5-minute candle. Bro, that is bills, man. I took 31 right there. In at 34, it's kind of tough. But no 40, no immediate 40 right there.
may resume in less than a minute.
It's having a tough time early. We didn't get to 40 and it's already having resistance here. So we're seeing some weakness in this candlestick. 5-minute candle is about to close.
SXTC.
And we have more left in the tank.
SMMT. SXTC. KZIA halted. KZIA will resume at 10 hours 15 minutes and 24 seconds.
Where are those bulls and this KB alive here on this dip? All right, KB waking up. A of the B. Retest, 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 retest. Oh, come on, bro. It's a rejection. Well, a little bit more size would have helped me there on that dip, but see, that's where we needed it to go over 50 though, man. So when I jump back in with actual size at 35 right there, we got to 43 and then just immediately 30. Just that right there usually just rips. I'm selling that trade at 65 in a hot market. Instead, it is a bigger drop. Good news, we haven't sold off below 2. And we'll see if it's able to reclaim this level here. This is good. This is good so far. One more hurrah. I think it has one more hurrah left in it. One more for the culture, for the bulls. There's a massive bid. It needs to rip through 50 this time. Come on, come on, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it. The short sellers are panicking here. I can sense their fear. Can we rip through 50 here? But if this goes, where are, yep, okay. Now they're in trouble. Now they're cooked. 60, 70 should be coming. Now I'm going to put my feet on the desk and sit back and relax. Bro, come on. Don't give out now. We're already at 55 high. And okay. Well, we made something. I don't like that we didn't push through, but you know, I guess. All right, what's the next entry? That's the key question here. Low. We didn't really close above 50, which is a small problem, I think. Like we should have seen like 65 right there. So this candle's about to close. And there's 48. Will we see a 3-bar play perhaps here? There's a few bids at 42. Can we hold up? There's 50. Okay. Can we hold 50 or is this a bluff? I'm in so I can find out. And it is not holding. A bit of a bluff. And the candlestick is still here, but I don't want to get too aggressive. Bro, what my intuition was telling me to load up, but again the risk, right? Because the moment we got back above 16, which was like massive resistance, it was confirmation that it was still strong. But I took 4,000, which is not huge, but you know, I guess still something. 4-3. And nothing this time. It's not immediate. New low in range. Okay. 4-3. And I'm gonna get caught there for a retest of 50. So there's the new low. Is it gonna come all the way down? Wow. I still like it, but it's definitely a bigger pullback from the 59 level. Which means I may have another chance here. Or it flushes down and then I lose, right? That's the other side. The risk is always present. The risk. Is it like a head and shoulders pattern? Or is it still a good 5-minute setup? I think it still looks good for now. So I'm going to stick to my first intuition and just be patient here. And I'm going to keep adding too, if I get the opportunity. Can't allow fear to control my trades. Gotta break free. Take control. Take control. Give it to us. Oh, I mean, I guess that's fair. That's fair. Stock felt pretty slippery on the resumption trades. Time. Still got like 2 minutes. I only added 1,000 shares. Like, what was I thinking? Bro. It might be getting ready here. If we can get micros, if it goes, that'll be great. Oh. Right, stalls. Okay, we might be getting the first pullback here, which is fine. So I need to be in. Still pretty bullish here. Damn, bro. Like, why was that so slow? Like that. Why was that so slow? Come on. I want to overtrade it, so I'll be patient still, but would have been nice to see a quicker spring. Bro, I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for the signal here. The moment it gives me the signal, I want to be buying. Just so indecisive here. Okay, okay. There's a chance this thing double tops though. The way how this 5 minute chart looks is like we could see like the head and shoulders. So if it comes up to 45, it needs to just go. Like any weakness there is gonna be problems. It needs to just evaporate through any resistance and just 65, 70, at least like 58. If not, we might be back down at 210 in no time. I'm not interested in another dip. I don't think this thing needs to just hold up. Is this the backside already? Don't forget to hit the thumbs up if you're watching on YouTube. I don't know about this dip, man. Good work, but I will not be involved. I want to keep watching though, just in case if it holds up and curls, I can at least position myself to be in, just in case we happen to have a serious candlestick out of nowhere. Okay. No continuation. Okay, sizing down. No continuation on that. But at least a good reaction, no. Five-minute candle to make a new high hasn't really happened in a while. Big levels here, big levels. Titanic disaster. Guarantee 208 bounce. There's 5. Come on, show me 208. Very reasonable target here. More than reasonable. 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7. Couple cents. Now, this is where I leave. This could curl back up. It could. But that's the end of the line for me. This is where we can like maybe do freestyle. There are people who love to trade this. I despise trading this right here, but sometimes this is where you can like get the sideways stuff, and then before you know it, you come back. Someone like me, I come back at 1 p.m. and then you see the stock all the way back into highs. And then it's like, man, maybe I should have stayed, but this for me is no man's land. The treacherous zones of the backside. Do I want to size down and wait for something else? Or do I want to say, hey, $700 is enough and walk away? If I stay, I risk giving back, but I could potentially make more. It's rare that you just stay the same. If I leave, I lock in what I have, but I could potentially miss out something if it goes right, some other stock. The decision that we all have to make. Whoa. Can this do a repeat here? I don't know. Time 53. If the candle closes above this level again, it could be worth watching at least. Time, did it? I think it did, or at least at the level. I don't want to get caught up here in case it's still weak. So waiting. Watching to see how it's like reacting to this level here. It's like it doesn't seem weak, but it doesn't seem strong either. Price action wise. MWIN. Watch. I'm gonna give a full watch through. Let's see. A look through of the watch list. AREC did move up a little bit. CHRO, DXF. This freaking stock, man. Whenever the first pullback doesn't hold up, you guys will realize that I always lose. Every time, without fail. This big red candle here, getting me. But I think to avoid it, if the first trade doesn't work, which is like the breakdown and reclaim of the level, I just have to step aside for the 5-minute pullback. But here I had the high fill, so the break and reclaim trade was like too risky, so I basically took the same trade twice. So I bought back at like sub 50 for then the break and reclaim of the $0.50 and then hopefully the whole dollar. And then it's just before you know it, I look back, stock is at 13. It's like, bro, what am I doing touching this thing here? HTZ, not much. OST, maybe gets over VWAP eventually, but I still don't think it's the best looking one. QURE's down. SMX also down. So the key is for anybody going the distance is to size down. Just wait for something obvious. Sit on the sidelines. Or in my case, you're out of here and you'll check back at 2 or 3 p.m. see if something looks good. But definitely this is why my gains throughout the rest of the day is not close to what it could be or was. Because a lot of times stocks are moving and I'm just not here, right? So walking away, locking it in. We are red on that one stock, so taking away 776. Better than nothing, right? It feels like a scratch day, but it's like $700. I can pay my $250 of this in tax, and go to the mall with $500. Buy a t-shirt or two in these high inflation times. Um, MWYN, just, I think the volume is too low. It's just way too low. But yeah, I think that's going to do it. So hit the thumbs up. Actually, you guys can't even see this thing. Yeah, you can't. Hold up. I gotta go to single screen. There it is. I can stretch this back too, just for future purposes. I used to have two of them, so P&L, I can add it back. P&L P/L on the day. That way this one will always be on this side. So if I go to dual screen, okay, good. Yeah, that's the day here. That's the day. So hit the thumbs up, subscribe. Tomorrow again. The week has been. How's the week looking? I can check my metrics here. My market metrics. See how we're doing. Guys, by the way, I'm building my own metrics platform. Coming soon to a town near you. Coming soon to a city near you. So very soon we're sending TraderView to the gallows where it belongs, in the depths. And then the next step will be to just build my own scanner too. Although that I think will be more challenging from what I've heard. But where there's a will, there's a way. And we have a good team, so that's all that matters. The team will help us to get it done. Today is the 17th. So I got to import. My last import was on the 14th. So we'll go back to the 14th. I always redo the same day just in case. ADGM back at 25. Looking like it's still holding up here. Looking like it's still primed for a move. But I'll use small size first. 600 shares. Give it like 20 more minutes. All right, if I'm going to start trading this thing again, I got to ask myself, what's a good entry here? Time. 2 minutes left in this candle. Is it holding or is it not? Not what I want to see. If I'm going to be sticking around, that's back down. So the range is definitely bigger here. Yeah, okay, let's continue to import and get the heck out of here. So let's see, for today, 4 days back. Export to file. Save. SXTC. It's halted up. Do I want to give it a go at small size? Again, if I stick around, I can potentially make more, or I could risk giving back some profits. BULL. My goodness, I took an $800 loss, a $500 loss. Biggest winner 200, 200, 200, 500. Not great. Bro, I traded that stock so poorly. Like that stock was like just everything we needed from a high price stock. Fear ruling my life that day. You know, the bad thing is my red days right now, I guess. You know, my red days, man. They're the tough part of the game right now. So this week has been, you know, kind of slow. What was Monday of last month? Oh yeah, last month was a disaster, right? The first 2 weeks, then the team house, and then the last 2 weeks we tried it holding longer with limit orders being out. I think it's fine to try new things every now and again, but maybe the approach wasn't quite the best. But the one thing I knew is that I was gonna be sacrificing gains, which I think at least was the good part. Like I knew, like, all right, I'm gonna like be all over the place here with size. So you know, if it doesn't work out, there's opportunity cost of us not doing what we know what you know the scalping is for this longer hold. So last month, complete and utter depth. But it's a month I could have ended green for sure if we were doing the regularly scheduled programming. So I'm thinking 600 shares, small sizes, resumption. I can have more size if it's good, and then slowly look to build up my profits. If it's strong, it'll keep going. If it's not, it's going to sell off, in which case I protect myself. There's a minute 15 seconds. A minute 50 seconds. So after this, we'll look at the calendar. We'll import again if we have to, and then go from there.
GCI. OMH.
You know, it's like sometimes I look at the month and I kind of think about so I watch a lot of like basketball from time to time, right? And
GCI.
Shaquille O'Neal talks about how he used to break down a quarter. Right, there's 4 quarters, and his objective would be about like 7 points, 8 points per quarter. And you know, at the end of the game, he finishes with whatever. Right, if he's going for a 40-point game, for example, 10 points, 10 points. and you kind of just break it down into chunks. It's like, when I look at my stats and what it means to have a good month, like a good month is really and truly just like two solid green days. You have a green day of like 11K and then like 9K. That alone is like a solid month. And there's freaking 20 days in a month. So well, hold up. The resumption is coming up. Here we go. 221, showing 240, and it's 10 minutes. Yeah, so, looking at the calendar, it's like two really solid days can just make the month a good month, right? So a 20K month, let's say, like bottom line. And there's like 20 plus days or around 20 days in the calendar. It's like, bro, there's more than enough time and days, especially like, but it really comes down to the executing, right? Like on a stock like BULL alone, that the month is already supposed to be a solid month if me as the trader do everything I'm supposed to do on that particular stock on that day. That alone, you could trade that stock alone and never show back up till next month, if that's the kind of thing you would want to do, right? But the problem is when you have hot stocks and you're fumbling the moves for one reason or another, right? That's the real issue. And so, executing real time in the moment and doing everything you're supposed to do, things will happen. But like on that day, I had trades at the bottom of the freaking move and selling for 60 cents. Like, I can't believe the nonsense. I go back and I see this stuff, or even just in the moment, like why, did I do something so silly, you know? And the thought, the reasoning, just so foolish too. Like, wanting to sell a little bit, but what not being in the prime position to, and then just selling all. Like, bro, if I had 20,000 shares or something, okay, like there's a real risk, or you know, if you want to say like fear because of how heavy the position is, but like, bro, 200 shares, like that should never, these things should never happen, never happen. So it's like day in day out, striving towards somewhat the same thing, which is just consistency within myself. There's only been 4 or 5 days this year where I came in and I traded to the best of my abilities. I felt like no hesitating, just looking at the setup for what it is, and you know, it doesn't necessarily mean that these days were like massive days, right? Because some of them were not, like just 2K or whatever. But it's like if I have that same level of focus and intensity on those days, like where BULL comes, it's like, bro, I can only imagine, like just it'll just be so seamless, like you look back at the stream after maybe doing something and it's like, wait, this guy's up 15K on this stock. Like, that stuff is just there sitting every day on a lot of these opportunities, if you're to be in that place mentally. And a lot of times I'm not, right? It's kind of tricky because sometimes I ask myself, how do I retain and remain at this level at all times mentally? And it only happened 5 times out of the year so far. I got to get to one of these books I read back in the day called was it Siddhartha, I think. One of the only books I probably read my whole life. Maybe I need to read more, but I got to get to this place of like enlightenment where you really and truly are consistent.
GCI. SXTC may resume in less than a minute.
Fear, greed, and the balance in between. So right here on this resumption, No nonsense. Straight pace, power, looking to be reactive, small size 600 shares. If the first trade is good and we see this follow through trade, I'll size up for the follow through trade to slightly bigger size and I'll take it from there. 10 seconds. It's showing 239 or 221. Here we go. Okay, easing off and waiting. That's not what I want to see. It might give candlesticks here. 88 is the halt up. Okay, still waiting. I don't trust it yet. The high's at 44. I'm leaning towards a breakout trade, if anything. Next candle is 30 seconds out. We're still seeing new lows. It's probably going to sell off. We'll see. So the resumption was 20. The halt up was 21. The low was 15. Big levels here to hold up. And I have a blue trend line at 17. It's a little high. Well, I'm going to give it a chance here. All right, I'm going to re-average, watching. Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, it's a little choppy. We made a new low there, which I didn't really love. If we don't see a push over 25 here, I'll leave it alone. Yeah. Okay. All right, that'll do it. Yeah, anyhow, so I got an import for today. This is depths. After it curled up from this low, I'm like, okay, maybe we do hold up, but yeah, there's no bounce on this depths. So we're gonna get back 50 bucks off the top of the day. So small size, good move there. Didn't really risk too much. This is what the week and the month is looking like after the miserable trading from last month. Tomorrow will be a big day if we can see something good, you know. But if not, we just take it slow. But we have 5, 6, 7, 8 days. Do we have any holidays this month? I don't think so. Maybe we do, but not a bad month. There's definitely still room to get up to at least over 20K. But we'll see how things play out. Again, if we got a nice day and we're locked in, there was a day. Was it early this month or the end of last month? You can't forget. I think it might have been this day here. and AOV and AOV. Yes, it was definitely this day. This trade right here, this trade here, I had a trade here, and that is at time 10:01 a.m. This trade, I could have made like 18,000 on this trade, but I was too chicken. So you guys will recall, like I had an 18K day in was it February? I had an 18K day in February. So at 10:01, which is right here. So I made 2,800 on this trade, but man, I got so mad after this that I couldn't even trade this move up. But bro, I had the intuition like nobody's business on this move. I had the intuition to load up here, load up. Like I was supposed to hit the buy button like 2-3 more times. So I took 3,000 shares on this bear flag breakout rather than taking the 9,000 to 12,000 shares that I envisioned on the move. Like before the move happened, like that's what's running through my mind. And moment of truth, I got too scared. Got too scared. But these opportunities will come every now and again, you know. The risk is always on the other side. And that's what stopped me, because in the moment there was like a 5-second window to buy. And I just thought about what if I go to 12,000 and then this thing just teleports down. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. And then the stock rips up. And the difference is with size here, where I have this one exit, I'd be scaling out into the move. So I capture more of the move as it's going up higher and higher. Because it was just in one fluid, action. And this was about $1 share where I sold. And it went up, you can see, like another $1 share. So this would have definitely been my biggest winning trade if I was to size up here. Closer to, depending on if I would have went to 12,000 or 9,000, I think we could have made like around like 15K minimum. Like minimum. This stock, the halt levels are so wide away. Like $3 a share down, $3 a share up. We only if we could get a stock like this every day, then we would be making millions of dollars in no time, like in 1 month. Especially if it's happening every day, then you get so used to the price action, and you just start a day with 9K size, each trade. But that's in a perfect world, right? In this world, everything, the price action is slightly different each day. It's the same type of thing to expect, but it's a little different in a sense that it could be a different price, different ticker symbol, stuff like that. But it's all somewhat the same. NAOV, man, NAOV. Crazy. And this is the breakout, right? On this setup, like the lows are a little bit more tricky at times for me to trust. This was the disaster of last month, March. My first real red month in like 2 years. But we did accept the risk, which I mentioned, was the only good part. We did accept the risk. Some of these days was just like nonsense too, bro. Like complete and utter mockery. Disrespect. Getting punched in the mouth from the market over and over, time and time again. And then having to say, okay, that's it. Back to business. Got cooked. Gosh. This thing is back at 23. Tough day here. 4K down to 2K and then up to 5 and then ending at 4. Just too much losses in between. Anyhow, I think that's gonna do it. SXTC. Does it really mean business? The highs were 44. All right, I'll take the green. I don't doubt that this one can go, but we'll shut it down. That'll do it for today. Spy. And now that I'm leaving, it'll probably go. So if it does, enjoy the festivities. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe. Tomorrow will be only his dreams. What? No, should be sleep. I should sleep in. What? What? Is tomorrow a holiday? I don't get the joke. Maybe I don't get the joke. I don't know. It's Good Friday? Oh, shoot. Well, good thing Thinkorswim has on demand, bro. I'll be trading one way or another. I will be trading one way or another. All right. Okay. Anyhows, I haven't looked at the stock market calendar in a long time, bro. If I knew it was it was gonna be a day off, I would have took a vacation here. I've been thinking about going to Miami for like a weekend. Okay, 2025. Good Friday, April 18th. Well, I guess it's not too late. I could still book a flight today. Team House Miami? Team House Miami or what? 3 days? SXTC. What? ADGM. I'm missing everything. Well, this is what happens when I get out of the zone. Yeah, SXTC might be cooked. Hopefully it rips into a halt up here. It looks good, but will it have the volume necessary to get a new high? Bro, sometimes I'm like out of the loop, like completely like. It's why I have to keep watching like Bloomberg and these other things because if not, I'd be completely lost at sea here. That's the only way I'm keeping up with like CPI whenever the Fed speaks, holidays. Oh, dang, man. We should see 70. Show me the move. Bust the move. Bust the move. Bust the move. Is not. And I've sold, and so now it's gonna go, of course. Of course. Of course. Typical. Short sellers are hanging by a thread here. Do not want to see it back below 50 here. It's kind of struggling a little bit. What's it gonna be? Okay, good reclaim. Come on. See all this hesitation here. Making me nervous. So I have to eliminate those nerves and get ready for the next move if we can hold it. All right, show me 70. Show me 70 here. Here we go. Here we go. Yes, sir. KB is alive and well. Take me to the moon. Bro, if you guys hear how I talk when I'm not live, you'd want to know if I'm talking to a person here. It does feel like it's a struggle though, you know? Like it's not moving as freely as I would like to see at this over 50 level, but it's holding up, and that's the important thing. Time. The 5-minute candle has 1 minute 20 seconds. These are big levels here, big levels. Maybe I ought to use some smaller size as well for now. I'm not gonna stay here for this. Like this it should be way better. Okay, come on, like why do we have to be moving such a lame way? 38? Like why are we going to 38 before we bust a move? And then it's like a double top right there. $87.
DJT.
87 for those highs. Come on. Show me over 80. And then retest the highs like we know you can. Like there's no way I could have captured that move because of how the stock was moving.
F18. CLS. Indeed, we're aiming for something less than
Like, is it getting shorted again? If they haven't covered, they'll have to cover over 3. People like they're still adding short or something. They are risking it all. They are risking their life savings on this one. If it goes, they're gonna get cooked. If it goes, they'll be at the mercy of the seas.
OMH. F18. MURA.
They'll be at the mercy of the markets. And as you guys know, the markets are merciless. Oh, this freaking stock. Come on. We are struggling.
F18. DJT.
Bro. Just sell off at this rate, man. All right, okay, that's it. That's it. I'm done for good. Walking away with 600. Bro, that type of move have no reason to not get over $3. Like, we have everything going for us. And then short sellers winning the battle still. People selling. It's like right there at 70, like just like nothing. Like the stock feels so heavy. All right, I'll take my green and shut it down. So I'm walking away with 596 after the small loss at the end right there. Come on. Yeah, they won this battle for sure. All my big talks up there, man, for nothing.
DJT.
But if it gets over 3, they definitely would be under some real pressure, man. Because it feels like if we had the resistance at 50, like you can just feel the selling pressure every time we're up there. Even lower too, but selling pressure again, 70. It's like the buying is just being observed. So if we do get over 3, then they start to really get to feel the stress. But look at that. Now I do think some people are going to cover some of their position on the resumption open, so it could be a good balance. But do I even want to do I want to put out any more risk? Man,
ADGM halted. ADGM will resume at 11 hours 26 minutes and 26 seconds.
62 was a good short because that was the last level, like where we had our previous high on this move up right here, and we had resistance there. So it's like we need to break and hold above that level. It didn't, and 68 was resistance going up. We got through 68 in good style up to 87. So I'm going to take this dip all the time right here. And then we're in the depths. A quality setup failing miserably. It is showing 208. 208.
DLTR.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the green. Despite I think this bounce could be a good setup, but I'm not even gonna risk it. So I'm gonna shut it down here. So for those of you going all the way for the 4th time today, stay safe, stay green. I'm actually done for real this time. What's my account size? I can't say my account size for security reasons, but it is over the PDT. So it's over 30K or 25K. I don't let it get too big because if I have too much cash in the account, then I'm at risk. If I ever size up too crazily on any given stock or any given day, it's best to just keep a small amount into the account. That way you don't, that way your risk is always limited. Like if I have 50K in my account, let's say, and I lose 50K in one day somehow, which is already near impossible, at least I'm only losing 50K versus everything I've ever made my whole life, So I think it's always good to keep the account small and not get too big. If it does get big, if you're on a hot streak, then that's fine. But then you still have to remember to take out, keep it mild, keep it to a minimum. And it's why retirement accounts, you got to be careful because in like the IRAs, I mean, you're not really taking it out till like 60, right? So if you're younger and you're just printing in there, and the account grows over a million, couple million, you got to really watch out to not be overly aggressive in the wrong areas. Yeah, I of course there's like taxes. Whatever any of us, any trader you see, whoever that person is, just automatically take out 33 cents for every dollar, right? So for every 10,000, 3,000 is going to taxes. automatically. So whatever we make, you just 1/3 of it is gone before we even can do anything. That's the first thing. There's cost of living, like your maintenance, your expenses, your bills, your mortgage, your rent, whatever it might be, car insurance, XYZ, entertainment. As a full-time trader, that is right. If you have other sources of income, like it depends, but you have to then subtract that stuff, and then you subtract whatever you're putting into your savings, retirement account, and XYZ. So your money, by the time you look back, your money is like evaporated. It's crazy. Your money is gone. Okay, 500 shares here since I'm still here. 202, 220. Okay, I'm not going to take it. It's too high. If it flushes down again, no. By the time you look back, your account is in the depths. Right? So you'll see a lot of the traders here in the community making jokes about getting a job when there's like a red streak. They're never really serious about it, but it's like a joke. Because at the end of the day, this is a business, and businesses can have slow stretches, a slow patch. And if this is your full-time income and your main income, then you'll have to cut back and be careful. Yeah, everything is taxed like 32, 35%. I think capital gains, New York, California. This is why some people, I mean, it's tough, man. You got to do what you got to do, but before I was ever making any money, right? I'd be like, man, why don't these big time companies just pay their fair percentage, right? Now, I'm not a big time company by any means, not even close, but then you make, my gains that I made last year, and then it's like, damn, bro, like 33% of this money is just gone before I could even look at it. Like, I didn't have a chance to invest it. I didn't have a chance to put it into my savings. I didn't have a chance to go on a nice vacation with it. It's like, wow, like this is brutal. So I guess your perspective can change depending on where you are in the spectrum, right? Yeah, back then I was like, man, these big companies, Amazon, whoever, they should easily just pay, right? Because you think about the money that you still have left despite paying. And that's okay, but it's not like this money came out of nothing. Like you still have to work for that money, right? Like you still have to put in the blood, sweat, and tears to be able to get that gain. And then it's just gone. And then what's worse about it being gone is that, we love this country dearly. We love the government, despite if you're Democrat, Republican, whatever, right, in between, you're more than likely in support of the country. And it's a little tough because whilst there's a lot of great things, there's also a lot of things that's not super transparent and super obvious as to how the money is being used in the system at all times. Certain things are classified, certain things, will be done in the best interest of the people, but we might not support it. Like there's a lot of things, so it's like this cash is just going to things that you might not even know, or care to support is a part of it. You just have to trust that the government is using it in the best way possible. Because I mean, yeah, we have the votes and things like that, but it's still kind of tricky. Now, if you're in ADGM as a long and you're in high, the best thing to do is cut the trade. Stomach the loss, take the loss. It's all part of the deal. This was just so fast, But could it bounce up a little bit to 30 maybe, but I wouldn't. If I'm in at like 60, I'd stop out and just take the loss, and then tomorrow's another day. Because there's also the chance of this just keep going lower, 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 and then by 3 p.m. it's at 115, 120, and then it's like, man, I should have just stopped out when I had a chance right here. If you guys ever see me holding a stock, like if there's a flush, like I could be trying to hold the trade longer, but if there's like a flush down, like if I'm taking size or something and I don't sell and the stock is down like this, then you know I'm gone. Like mentally, I'm cooked. I don't think it'll ever happen. I've had to program my brain to always sell. If I'm buying lower into a move, it's because I think the move is still bullish. Like there's trades where I add like lower, but I look at it as like we're still in support and I'm just buying. Versus like this has failed miserably. But the moment we get to that point where it's like beyond the cutoff, it's like yeah, I gotta cut this trade right away and just take the loss. Because your hypothesis has failed and the trade is now beyond weak. And so holding it is just it's in uncharted territory and holding it is risky. You don't have any intuition of what should happen. It's more now of a guessing game. Your edge is not there. The strategy you're trading is not there. You know, you're kind of just hoping and spraying and praying, as they call it, firing from the hip. So it's key to cut a trade if it's going against you and it's past your stop. All right, take care, stay safe, stay green for the 5th time today. Catch you guys later. Enjoy the extended weekend, and maybe you might just see me in Miami because I'm thinking about it. If I'll look at some hotels, and honestly, I'll just like book a small flight, and then the past star might be packing his bags here in the next hour. Right? This is the beautiful thing about day trading, though, and like being able to do well over the years. Like if I want to do this, like I don't have to think about it. I can just go ahead. All right, stay safe, stay green. Tomorrow, well, Monday again. Monday again.